Listen, hey, everybody. Listen, I just got off doing my preview for my podcast on tomorrow afternoon, but I had to come back. I'm sorry. I usually don't do this, but I had to come back because I saw something that on Instagram just a few minutes ago that I'm having a serious problem with because let me just read it, okay, and I'll go with it from there. So this is a post from the comedian D.L. Hewley. And it's floating around on some of probably your friends' timelines because, they will take it from somewhere else and put it on their page. I'm going to read it to you real quick, and then it'll kind of give you the foundation of what I'm talking about. Dale Hewley put down, he copied from a Stephanie Drury, whoever this is. And she said in her post, if a church isn't open to shelter people experiencing homelessness during a blizzard, then it isn't a church, it's a business. I read it again. DL put this on his page. He wasn't the one that said it, but since he posted it, then obviously he agrees with it. It says, if a church isn't open to shelter people experiencing homelessness during a blizzard, then it isn't a church, it's a business. And then DL goes on in his thing and he says, aren't times of need and people in need what the church is for? He said, paging Joel Osteen and the mega churches around the country, saying essentially that the church should be a shelter for the homeless. Let me just say this. Number one, the church can be a place for the homeless if the church is ready and staffed enough to handle that situation, then yes. And if that's what the church wants to do, then yes, the church should do that. But I want to take it a different way because people don't understand the church. And what we have today is a lot of people that aren't in church. I'm not saying they don't believe in God. They don't believe in Jesus Christ. I'm not saying that at all. They do believe. It's just when it comes to actually gathering together or in a set place, or what a lot of people say, the building. When it comes to that, they don't have a clue because they don't know themselves. Okay. And so what we have now, and this ain't just started, what we have now is a whole bunch of people go to a building per se and wants to interject and say what the church ought to be doing without knowing the functions that the church is already doing. You have, and I don't, and mostly it's our celebrities that we love and hold dear to our heart, and they're good at comedy, they're good at basketball, they're good at movies, they're good at all that. They need to stay in their lane. Yeah. If you're good at comedy, stay in comedy. Don't come over to the church side because you don't know. If you're good at basketball, at football, stay in those lanes. Don't come over to the church side because you don't know what you're talking about. If you're good at movies, stay in the movie lane. Don't come to the church side, a place that you haven't attended, don't know how it functions. It's what you figure it ought to be like when you really don't know. First of all, let's go with them because I have experience in this. First of all, here it is. Number one, if you're going to have a homeless people inside of your church, the church better have security in their church. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So you better have a security staff since you're going to have people that's going to stay in your church 24 hours. You're going to have security. And you got to pay somebody 24 hours to watch your church. Why is that? Because in my experience, I ain't talking about nobody else. I'm not talking about what y'all do. That's fine. But in my experience and what I've seen, homeless people steal. Y'all don't like what I'm saying, but it's just the truth. I've seen it happen. Okay. So you have to have security in the church. Number two, if you don't have a plan on feeding and a place for showers, if you don't have a place for, stuff like that, then you can't really accommodate the homeless. I'm just telling you the truth. And so when I hear DL start calling out churches and all that kind of stuff, and then a lot of people that agree with it, haven't you forgotten, DL, and all of you that agree with it? I'm not coming against you. I just told you at the beginning that if the church can handle it, then yeah, they can operate in that if that's what they do. There are many churches that don't because they don't have the adequate resources to handle that type of ministry. And I guess that's what it is. It is a ministry to take care of the homeless. But haven't y'all forgot, you're calling the church out, but aren't we in the middle of a pandemic? Wait a minute. So everywhere else we supposed to stay socially distant. Everywhere else we're supposed to have masks. We're supposed to check temperatures. We're supposed to do all this and do all that. I mean, don't the church supposed to protect itself? Y'all help me. I mean, somebody help me. I thought we was in the middle of a pandemic. I thought that's what I thought. That's what I thought. We supposed to be taking care of a building. Most churches don't have anything going right now in their church because they don't know who's coming into their churches. There are many churches that have problems even with funerals right now. There are many churches that don't even do funerals in their church because and funerals are at funeral homes now because they have to protect their church and their members that come into the church. The coronavirus lingers. I know y'all know about it, so let's not act like that it all of a sudden if you bring homeless people into your places, let's not act like that the same rules don't apply. I mean, come on. I mean, come on. We the homeless don't have anything, and essentially what you're saying is that the church is supposed to take care of them. Okay, if the church doesn't have the adequate resources to take care of that, then no, they shouldn't open up their doors because they can't handle it properly. And some of you may be saying they're going to watch this a little bit later on. Well, why don't they have everything? I mean, they get all the money on Sunday. They get all the money on, so you don't know what they get. You don't know what they get. I mean, unless you're an accountant that can tell me exactly what they got, you don't know what the church get. You don't know. You think you know. You think you get a generalization because of what you see. You don't know. You don't know what church got to do. You don't know. I think it's just sad where we've come lately that we'll let the outside, those that purposely don't want to come to church, purposely. I mean, purposely that's outside and don't know the functions and the ways of the church, don't know the structures of the church, and at each particular church, and then let those outside people tell the church what they should and what they should not be doing. When those people that are telling the church what to do haven't stepped inside of a church in the last 20 years. D.L. Hewley don't go to church. D.L. Hewley go to church when somebody dies, when his friends die. D.L. Hewley don't get up no Sunday morning and go to church. I'm not saying he don't turn on his phone. I'm not saying he don't look at it online. When you're looking at stuff online, that means you just watching church service. You don't know the Monday through Saturday inner workings of the church. You don't know about the light bill. You don't know nothing about the food that had to go into. You don't know nothing about the church. You don't know about the cleaning supplies that the church had to pay for, all the toilet tissue, all of that, and you want to tell people how to regulate their churches. It's amazing to me. It's just like me. I'm bald headed. You see, y'all see me. Well, I'm not bald. I got to get on it in a few minutes. But it's just like me going to tell a woman full of hair and tell her what she needs for her hair and how she needs to make it grow and how to keep it maintained and how to keep it healthy when I don't know nothing about it. I'm unqualified to talk about that because I'm not qualified to talk about it. It's just like me, going to tell LeBron James, look, go do this and go do that. I'm watching it on TV. I ain't played ball in years, man, and I'm telling him what to do. Come on now. Stay in your lane. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm not listening. I'm sorry. The DL done made me laugh a lot of times. I got a little irritated by that. I'm not listening to no comedian to tell me what should be happening in the church. I mean, come on, y'all. Y'all don't like what I'm saying because some folks aren't gonna like it anyway because they're outside the church anyway, so they're gonna agree with DL. I get it, but until you know the functions of the church, before y'all start calling out churches like he did, telling Joel Osteen, you don't know what Joel Osteen's church is doing. You don't know. Maybe they've had an experience with the homeless. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Maybe the church is not prepared enough to do it. And some of y'all gonna say, well, maybe if they Joel Osteen wouldn't take his money. Y'all don't know nothing about. Y'all don't know nothing about. And some of y'all think y'all know because y'all see what kind of car a person drive. Y'all automatically add all these attributes. I'm a little irritated right now, so let me hurry and close this out. Y'all don't know nothing about what these guys got. Some of y'all, and I'm just gonna go and put it out there because I'm here now, so I might as well go and say it. Some of y'all brothers and sisters, some of my African American black people, it's amazing to me how you want to throw darts at some of our African American pastors who have been successful and do all that. And some of y'all say stealing money and all that kind of stuff. I get it. But it's amazing to me how you think you know the background. I look at somebody like Bishop Jakes, and some of y'all have threw darts and y'all threw darts at him, but don't y'all realize that man have written books, and don't y'all realize that man have made millions off books? His books, his books, and we ain't even talking about whatever the Potter's house is giving him. But when y'all start counting other folks' money and counting how they do stuff, you don't know nothing about the church, but you outside of the church trying to tell the church what to do. Nobody in the church ain't coming out there and telling you. I mean, come on, man. Come on now. I see you, Gary. Thank you, man. Yeah. I mean, God bless DL. I've paid money to see him. I've watched him on TV. I've seen him before. I don't tell the church what they should be doing. Why should they? Well, I got a question for you. Since you're so concerned, okay. I mean, I'm just asking a question. Since you're so concerned, before they get to the church, they pass your house first, huh? Okay, but before they get to the church, they pass your house first. So why don't you let the homeless in your house? See, so you ain't that didn't count on. That didn't exercise. DL is a very rich man. Has made a lot of money, and those that agree with him and some of our other celebrities that may join in have made millions and millions and millions and got a big mansions and have cars and can go got cars, 5, 6 cars in their driveway, got 5 or 6 people that can drive. If you're so concerned about the homeless, go down there, pick them up, and bring them into your house. You got about 9, 10 rooms in your house. You can afford it. You got the food there. You got a chef in your kitchen. You got people to clean your house. You got plenty of bathtubs and showers and all that kind of stuff and jacuzzis and all that kind of stuff. If you go so concerned about the homeless getting to the church, have the same energy and concern when they pass your house first before they get to the church. I'm just asking. I'm just throwing out an observation. See, everybody always want to blame the church for every and anything. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to blame. Everybody want to. I saw he call out Osteen. If he call out Osteen, he gonna call out Jakes and all that. But if you watch it, but see, Bishop, it's the pattern is there. Bishop Jakes got that place that can hold 14,000 people. But if you look at his service, he only got about 10, 11 people in there. Why? Because he's trying to keep people out of it. Why aren't we doing the home? Because it is a pandemic going on. Whatever situation is in there doesn't change what's going on. It's a pandemic going on. You're not letting every and it look. DL ain't letting people in his own house. Now, why are you trying to stack everybody up in the church? Man, come on now. Come on now. Come on now. I mean, come on now. Folks killing me. Folks will get DL ain't letting people in his house. You ain't no parties going on at his house. You keeping people out here. You keeping people out of the house. Now, why are you trying to tell and stack everybody to go to the church? And then because the church ain't doing it, then you want to use this as another way to get your little javelin out and throw it. And DL has been doing this for years. People outside of the church, and I'm again, I'm not coming against his beliefs because I'm quite sure if you ask him, he probably believes in God into the area. But he's a person that believes in God, just like many people that's watching me and many people that you know in your timelines. They love God, they believe in God, they read his word, but there's one area that they don't do that other Christians do. And that is they decide to go to a specific place and go join together and worship together. In other words, they go to the building. As a lot of people, they go to the building. We don't have to go to the building because God is everywhere. That's what they say. All that kind of stuff. That's fine. I'm saying. I'm saying. I see you, Gary. I'm coming to you. I'm saying people outside of the church are trying to dictate what goes inside of the church without knowing what the church is doing, has done, the structures that they have in the church, the rules that they have in the church. Come on now. I have a problem with it. I do. I do. I do. people who purposely, I'm talking about purposely decide to not go to the building, want to tell the people that's in the building week by week, year after year, and you got people who ain't stepped foot in a church in years, and all of a sudden want to tell the people what to do in the church. A comedian, a comedian, a comedian is telling the man and women of God who have purposely stayed away from their members because of the pandemic, because they're trying to eliminate their members getting sick. And they've done this for over a whole year. And the ones that are in church are only letting limited people come back to the church. But now you want to tell the ones that are not letting anybody in the church, an outside source, a comedian, wants to tell the pastor, that's what he told Joel Osteen, to open up your doors as if the pandemic is gone. I look, some of y'all may be looking at me and y'all may have a problem with what I'm saying. This is just my perspective. Fortunately for me, I've transferred over from the Sunday morning side of church. When I say that is when I'm beyond the preaching and singing side. Fortunately for me, I'm now on the business side of church also. You can call it administrative and everything else, but I know what it takes to keep a church going outside of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I know what it takes to handle MLG and W for those that are in Memphis. That's Memphis Light, Gas, and Water. That's the area where we need to learn. I know what it takes for staff people to get paid. That's the area of church. And I know when it, for instance, I know when it, for instance, when we can let people in and when we can't let people out. I know all this stuff. This is where I am. I'm beyond just Sunday morning preaching and hollering and singing and jumping and dancing and clapping and all. I got all that, but I'm also on the business side of church. See, you bring in homeless people, you better have a staff there that can cook, give them 3 meals a day. It's hard to find volunteers in church these days. You're going to have a security team. See, y'all, folks don't even think about this. And you're going to have that security team 24/7. And you're going to have armed security. Yeah. Armed security. Yeah. You got to have all this stuff. That costs. And I'm not saying, and if a church can do that, God bless them. Yes, then let's do it. You got to keep these people spread apart. And in this time, you got to have, look, everybody walking in. I mean, my God, you got to get checked. You got to get temperature gauge. You got to get all this stuff. All this stuff got to go on. And if a church is adequate in that area and can help, then of course, yes, God bless them, they can. But for DL to put this on all churches, it's wrong. It's wrong. And I don't need I don't need a person that's not qualified. And some of y'all going, well, the Bible qualifies me. The Bible qualifies us all. But if it's not your lane, I'm saying this is Doug Brooks, chapter 1, verse 1. This is what I'm saying. If you're not qualified, you're just not qualified. You got to be qualified to tell. Yeah, you just can't. Everybody can always say what you should be doing and all that kind of stuff, but you if you don't know nothing about it, you just don't know nothing about it. And DL need to stick. And y'all look, I love the brother, great, funny dude, but DL need to stick with his radio show. DL need to stick with his stand up, where he's great at. I'm not about to go tell DL what joke he should tell. Okay. I'm not about to go with DL. I'm not going to tell him how to run his radio show. I'm not going to do that. That's not my lane. Same lane. He should give the same respect to those that are leaders or pastors in the church. And there's a lot of people right in your timelines. It's a lot of people right in your timelines, and y'all know them, that think they know what the church should be doing when they're not a part of the church. And the time for that has got to stop. We get excited. We get excited for some reason about our celebrities showing any type of inclination or any type of mention of the church. And it's like y'all done seen the light. Oprah Winfrey say something about the church, y'all go crazy. Oprah coming to our church, all that kind of stuff. Tyler Perry, get up. And Tyler's a believer in Christ. We all know that. We seen him, but for some reason, everybody gets really excited, go completely crazy because he done laid hands on somebody. Oh, he got the Holy Ghost. Your pastor been laying hands on for 3 weeks. You don't say nothing. Pastor been laying hands on you for a whole year. You ain't said nothing. Tyler Perry come to your church and lay hands on somebody, and y'all go completely cuckoo. We got to get out the personality-driven stuff, but that's been in existence for a long period. All I'm saying is, y'all check it out for yourself. If you're on Instagram, go to D.L. Hewlett's page. You'll see what he put. Is not what he put down. He put a young lady's name down there, and then he put it on his page. And a lot of people just, I guess it was just I guess it was just a bunch of people who agree with that, and probably a lot of people don't attend church or know the functions of the church. You just start seeing all the dabs taking it to church and all that. If maybe they'll give up their money, they'll have up all that. You don't know absolutely nothing. You don't know absolutely nothing. You don't know what the pastor's salary is, And to our black people, I'm sorry, I may have some white people looking at me, but to our black people, what the funny thing is I done seen about that? Most of our black people, and this is just off the subject, most of our black people about preachers that have been successful, or they drive a car or whatever, nice looking car. They get this stereotype thing going. But have you ever noticed that they'll talk about that, but they don't say nothing about the white preacher who have done the same thing? The thing is that the white preacher is just not as flashy or outgoing as our black preachers are. That's the only difference. They got the same big old house on the other side of town. You just don't know about it. Just because they wear the same blazer, or they got two blazers. They wear one on first Sunday and third Sunday, and wear the other color on the second and fourth Sunday. And you think because they look homely, you think they live homely. No, sir. No, ma'am. The white preachers got Mercedes too, but you don't say nothing about that. Y'all talk about the preacher because he got a Cadillac or a Mercedes or whatever. You don't say nothing about the white preacher. They got it. That's because y'all don't see it. Y'all don't say it. You know, they don't flaunt it or whatever. So you don't say nothing about that. It's just amazing to me. It's just amazing to me. You know, it really is. And it's always the people that's you got some people on the inside that do it too, but mostly it's a lot of people from the outside that want to dictate to our churches what they ought to be doing. And I cannot, I just know. I know plenty of preachers. I got a few here on this line with me now. They're agreeing with everything I'm saying, pretty much. I'll let you see it. There go Gary. I don't know what he said. I'm just putting it up. There he is. Hit the white. Steve Frizz one. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it happens. I see my coach is on here. Coach Reed Love. He lives out of town, and there he goes. See, my sister's on here. I see my sister on. My mother's on here. Okay, so I'm basically, if you take these little 30 minutes I've been on here, I just couldn't take it no more. I just couldn't take it no more, y'all. I just couldn't take it. Like, how people that's outside want to tell the people that's inside and working this thing Monday through Saturday and Sundays and on a consistent basis, and people that don't even step inside the church want to tell the church what they supposed to do. I don't get it. I don't get it. So God bless y'all. Hope y'all appreciate my little rant here. And you know, some of this gonna tick a lot of people off. I already know that. So be it. I'm gonna stay in my lane. Okay. I'm gonna stay in my lane. What is my lane? Yeah, exactly. What is my lane? Okay, this is me. Now I'm a preacher, I'm an assistant pastor. Here's my lane. Number one, I'm a husband. That's my lane. I'm a father. That's my lane. Okay. I'm gonna perfect those lanes. I'm just giving you my lanes. Okay. I'm in my school, doctorate school. So I'm a student. That's my lane. Okay. I am an assistant pastor. Notice I said an assistant pastor. I didn't say I was the pastor. I am you got to know the lane, because see, if you don't know your lane, you end up trying to cross over and think you're running something when you ain't running that. I am an assistant pastor here in Memphis. That's my lane. The lane that my pastor decide to give me, that's the lane that I'm in. If he didn't give me the lane, I'm not crossing over to the lane. When he decide to give me the lane, or whatever lanes he want me to do in the church where he pastors, that's the lane that I function in. I stay in my lane. Okay. So there it is on that. I have my podcast show. That's my lane. Okay. So I'm gonna do my lane in that. Did I say I'm in school? Yeah, I'm in school. That's my lane. These are the lanes that I have. Not my job, of course. At my job, I have responsibilities, and that's my lane. At my job, that's my lane. I'm not crossing over to other people's lanes at my job because, number one, I'm not qualified. Then number two, I don't know what I'm doing, and number three, it'll mess stuff up. Notice what I just said. If I'm not qualified, I'm gonna mess stuff up. Kind of sound like with what I'm talking about today. If you're unqualified and try to interject yourself and try to tell people what to do when you don't know really what it is that's really supposed to be done, and you don't know all the weight that may come with it, then you probably are. You're probably gonna mess stuff up. when you jump in lanes that aren't yours, or you're not qualified for, or you're not prepared for, once you jump in lanes like that, chances are you're going to mess things up tremendously. It's kind of like a preacher that is called. Okay, uh, here where I am, since I'm over the ministerial staff at our church, that's one of my lanes. What I always tell people is that, look, everybody is not called to have a microphone in their hand. Sometimes your ministry is in the ministry of helps. Sometimes your ministry is in the ministry or of being an intercessor instead of being called. God have called you to that, but he's gifted you in the area of being an intercessor. He's gifted you in the ministry of helps. He didn't necessarily call you to have a microphone in your hand. And see what the problem is, and I'm just using this as a metaphor, I guess, but we got a lot of people who are called to be intercessors or called to be prayer warriors, but then they try to cross over and then try to preach, and that's not the gifting. Let me get off this mic because it's time for me to go. Let me stop. I'm just saying you have to stay in your lane, and to DL Hewlett and to those, he's a comedian. He's a comedian, and a comedian don't have no business telling no pastor what to do at his church, his or her church. I'm out now. Y'all want to jump on me on that? So be it. I'm just telling the truth. A comedian don't have no business. None. No, you can't tell me that. It's just like Tiger Woods going to tell LeBron James what he should do in basketball, or LeBron James, even though LeBron is great, coming telling Tiger Woods what he should do with a golf ball. It just don't fit. And a comedian telling a pastor what to do in their church, a comedian, and presenting it like it's real serious, and got plenty of followers and plenty of likes on the page. Y'all go check it out. Go check out DL Hewlett Instagram. Y'all see it. Just find it. It's there. Or what the homeless going into a church should do. And and please don't hit me with the Bible says this. I know what it say. Yes, when I needed food, you didn't feed me. When I needed clothes, you didn't clothe me. I get it. I know it. But if the church not prepared, they're just not prepared. There's more than just opening up your doors. There's the other side of this. There's another side of this. Okay? It's just the truth. And I'm sorry if people don't like what I'm saying. I just got tired of it. A comedian don't have no business telling no. Yeah, Jeremiah, there it is. Yeah. It's the truth. There it is, Mr. Shaw. It's just the truth. A comedian, we're living in a time now where we want more flash than substance. Well, that's where we are now. And we got a lot of people outside of our churches trying to tell us what the churches ought to be. These are the same people that want to have, let me just stop. Let me stop. we don't have no time for that. If the church can handle all the sides of bringing in homeless, is more than just opening up your doors. There's other areas that you have to consider before you even allow people to come into your church. And if you can't handle that, you can't get no 24-hour security. You can't have people in there to cook for these people. If you don't have adequate stuff if you don't have showers in your church, what you bring them in for? If you don't have showers in your church, what you bring them in for? If all you got is a baptismal pool, what you bringing all these folks in for? I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Thank you, Minister Cho. Exactly. Look, God bless you guys. Y'all take it easy. Hey, uh, it is what it is. I can't speak for everybody. I just know me. I'm not letting no comedian tell me what the church ought to be doing, especially when that comedian don't go to church himself. Who is this? Ashley said, I'm in need size of $5 for my son. If someone could buy me baby diapers, I really need them. I don't need money, just someone to buy me diapers. Just ship them to me. I really need it. Ashley Smith. I'm in need of size 5 diapers for my son. I would really appreciate it if someone could buy me diapers. I really need them. I don't need money, just someone to buy me diapers, ship them to me. I really need it. Ashley Smith, I don't know who you are, but inbox me. Look to the corner there in your screen. That's my name. Put an L there in the middle. Douglas L. Brooks Jr., and I can direct you to the proper people. Just inbox me. Jeremiah Shaw says these churches don't have protocol, no sense of decency. The Bible declares to let things be done in order. No question about it. Got to know, Jeremiah said it perfectly. It's called order. And the last time I checked, yeah, I kind of figured that, Mama Love. You know, I've seen stuff like that before. You know me. I've been trained. You know, I know stuff when I see it. Like Minister Shaw said, you got things that be done in decent order. Last time I checked, now, forgive me. Last time I checked, and I realized God can talk to anybody, and I realized God can speak to anybody that don't necessarily have to be a preacher. But, and I'm not saying God does not work with everybody either. But thank you, Mama Love. I see it. I just don't think God would talk to the comedian first before he talked to the pastor. Now, that's just me. And I realize God could talk to anybody. I know God can work through anybody's heart, but I don't think I think the Lord would place that on the pastor's heart. I don't think he need no direction from the prophecy of the comedian. Y'all help me out here. I mean, I'm sorry. You got to know your lane. You got to know your call. You got to know your lane. Stay in your lane. When it comes to the church stuff, and like I said before, for those that are just coming in and listen. Churches for a whole year. Some churches are just letting people back in, and I'm talking about. I see you, Tangi. Thank you, Tangi. Thank you so much. The churches are not at full capacity. They're just starting to let people back in. Pastors have been sick because they haven't been able to be with their members. They're regulated to what you're seeing now, me on, is a screen. That's their connection. They have missed their members terribly. And they're just now getting in. And they're not letting everybody in right now. They're limited in the people that they can have in. And it's not at every church. Some churches are not even letting more than 5 to 10 people in. That's how bad it is still in some areas of this country. But now all of a sudden, everybody McDill and others want to bypass that and just say, hey, bring all the homeless in. Aren't we still in the middle of a pandemic? Aren't we still in the middle of social distancing? Aren't we still in the middle of sanitation, sanitizing your hands and Clorox wipes everywhere, and aren't we still there? So I mean, why are we trying to put that pressure on the church when you got when you know if he's a millionaire like DL is, you know they pass by his house before they get to the church house, don't they? If you that concerned, he got a mansion, 10, 11 rooms in his house. If you so concerned, got a chef in your kitchen, go on put him in your house before you transfer him to the church. If you that concerned. If you that concerned, put him in your house. He has the adequate funds to take care of everybody, feed them 3 times a day. Probably got 4 or 5 bathrooms in his house. He got all that in there. And right there, if you so concerned, let them in your house. They probably passed your house before they got to the church house. Let them in your house since you so concerned. Some of y'all don't like what I just said, but I'm just telling the truth. It is what it is. You know, we got to stop. We got to stop. You know, and what I'm saying in good fashion. I'm not being crazy about it. You know, the churches have to stand up for the church. And I've just been the one. I'm not combative, but I'm not passive either. Yeah, exactly, Tange. That's all I'm saying. You know, that's all I'm saying. And Tange, if you don't, Tange is a member of the Infinite Church in Milwaukee, pastored by my brother Apostle Redante Ashford, Dr. Erica Ashford. They up there in Milwaukee, and Tange, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, DL Hewley, you know, on Instagram, just pull down DL Hewley. Looked in his little boxes there. One of those posts is gonna have a post from a girl talking about the church ought to do something with the homeless and all that kind of stuff. And DL put it there and then called out churches, called out a pastor's name. I think he called out Joel Osteen. And I'm just amazed of how people outside of the church want to dictate to us that's in the church and work at the church. I ain't talking about on Sundays. I'm talking about Monday through Saturday. Know the other side of church when you get past the organ and get past the guitar and all the shouting and dancing and screaming and the altar call and the preach word. When you get past that, church still got a business side to it on Monday through Friday. Those are people I'm talking about and know what it takes to do something like that. And there's more than just opening up your doors. There's other stuff that have to be thought about before you even attempt to even open up the door. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, why you and this person outside the church who don't go to church want to tell the church what to do? I don't like that. That's just me. All right, I've been on for 50 minutes. I'm through. I didn't expect to be on this long, but I guess I appreciate y'all for letting me vent. And hey, it is what it is. I appreciate y'all. I'm gone. Y'all check it out for yourself. Go to DL Hewley's page on Instagram. And some of your Facebook friends will put it out. I guarantee you they have. Because they're not lovers of the building, all that kind of stuff. So check it out on your own. You know, whether you agree with me or not, I understand. Everybody's not going to agree with you. It is what it is, but that's just my perspective. And I'm coming from the experience of being on the other side of Sunday morning. I know the functions of the church. I know what it takes to pull off stuff like that. And it's not as easy as just opening up the doors. It's a lot of stuff that have to be considered. And then when you throw the pandemic on top of it, now you're talking a whole new ball game. And that's the part that I just don't understand why people are like, have we forgot what we're living in right now? All right, I'm gone. I appreciate y'all hanging with me. We'll see you on next time. All right. Hey, my podcast show is tomorrow. I ain't talking about church tomorrow. I'm talking Dallas Cowboys, 3 p.m. Y'all come hang with me if you can. All right. Bye-bye.